Let's solve some problems here. What is the volume of this box here? So we're given the length, the width, and the height of this box. So this is a cubic rectangle, and to solve for the volume, we just have to multiply the length, width, and height. So that would be 3 times 4 times 5, and this is just equal to 60 cubic centimeters. So the answer is letter D. Blair's average or arithmetic mean on 2 physics test is 7. What should Blair's score be on the next test to have an overall average of 8 for all the tests? The average or arithmetic mean is just the sum of the terms divided by the number of terms. So in this case, we have two terms, because it says here 2 physics tests, and then the average is just equal to 7. So that would be the average equals the sum of terms. In this case, we have 2, so we divide it by 2. And we're given here the average, which is 7. We just have to plug in 7 here. So that would be 7 equals the sum of terms divided by 2. Therefore, the sum of terms is equal to 14. Then the question is, what should Blair's score be on the next test to have an overall average of 8 for all the tests? So let's say, okay, we let X be Blair's new score. So we now have 3 terms here. So we just have to add up the sum of the 2 previous terms plus X, which is Blair's new score, and it should be equal to, divided by 3, and it should be equal to 8. So that would be new average equals sum of new sum of terms divided by 3. So the new average is just equal to 8. It says here 8 equals the sum of terms. We already got the sum of the previous 2 terms, which is the 2 physics tests, that is just equal to 14, plus the new score, which is X, divided by 3. And then we multiply both sides by 3. So this is 24 equals 14 plus X. And then we subtract 14 from both sides. This cancels out. So we have 24 minus 14 equals X. Therefore, X is equal to 10. So Blair's new score is just equal to 10. So the answer here is letter D. For X plus 2 times X plus 1. So we can use the distributive property for this, or we can use the FOIL method. So we multiply the first terms, then the next terms, okay, this one, and then the last terms. So that would be okay, 4x times x plus 2 times x plus 4x times 1 plus 2 times 1. So we can simplify that. 4x times x is just 4x squared plus 2x plus 4x plus 2. And then we can group like terms. We have here 2x and 4x. So we can just add them up. So this is just equal to 4x squared plus 6x plus 2. So the answer here is letter B. Two minus 8 divided by 2 to the 4th divided by 2 equals. So in this case, we let's recall the order of operations. We can use PEMDAS. So we perform the expressions or operation inside the parentheses first, and then exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. So in this case, we have 2 to the 4th divided by 2 inside our parentheses. So we need to perform this operation first. So that would be 2 minus 8 divided by 2 to the 4th divided by 2. 2 to the 4th is just, okay, so this is 16 divided by 2. Then 2 minus 8 divided by 16 divided by 2 is just 8. Okay, so we do this first and then this one. And then this is the next one. 2 minus 8 divided by 8 is 1. Therefore, the answer is 1. So this one here is just equal to 1. And the answer is letter C. If xy equals yz and angle y measures 90 degrees in the figure below, which of the following cannot be concluded? So we have 4 choices here, and we need to choose the one that cannot be concluded here, that isn't related to whatever we have in this given figure. Okay, so it says that angle y is 90 degrees. Therefore, A and B, the sum of A and B is just equal to 90 degrees, because the sum of the measure of the angles inside a triangle is equal to 180 degrees. And then A and B could be equal or not, so it's possible. Then we have A plus B equals 90, and then xz here is our hypotenuse, and then xy and yz are the legs, so we can use the Pythagorean Theorem. So this can be. And we have B xz is less than xy. Xz here, this one is our hypotenuse, and it should be the longest side. It cannot be lesser than the two, either of the two legs. Therefore, the one that cannot be concluded here would be xz less than xy. So our answer here is letter B. A scoutmaster is preparing his troop for their annual fishing expedition. He surveyed each of his scouts to find out how many fishing poles they own. And the results of the survey are shown below. What is the mode of this data set? Okay, how are we going to find the mode? So the mode of the data is the number that appears the most often. So in this case, we're given here the table the first column is the number of fishing poles, and the second column is the number of scouts owning this number. So for 0 fishing poles, like none, so we have 7 scouts here. And then for 1 pole, 5. Okay, so it's understandable that the largest of this all is the number of fishing poles, which is equal to 0. So the largest number of scouts who own 0 fishing poles is our mode. So the answer here is letter A. A line passes through the point -1, 2. Which of the following cannot be the equation of the line? It says here it is a line, so this one follows the slope-intercept form of a line, which is just y equals mx plus b. So it has a slope and a y-intercept. So we're given here this point -1, 2, and it passes through, the line passes through it. So that means this point satisfies the equation of the line. So when the value of x is equal to -1, then the value of y should be equal to 2. So let's try all of the choices here. We'll see if -1 and 2 satisfies each of the equations here. So the first one is y equals 1 minus x. So substituting the value of x here, 1 minus -1. So this is just equal to 2. So this satisfies this equation. How about letter B? Y equals x plus 1. Y equals -1 plus 1. This is just equal to 0. It's not equal to 2. We have x equals -1. So this could be vertical. The line can be vertical. And then for letter D, y equals x plus 3. So that is y equals -1 plus 3. So y here is equal to 2. So this also satisfies the equation. So the only one that doesn't satisfy the equation of the line is letter B, wherein -1, 2 is not a solution to this. If 5 to the 11th equals 5 squared times 5 to the m, what is the value of m? So in multiplying two powers with the same base, you can always add the exponent. So that means 5 to the 11th equals 5 squared times 5 to the m. We can just write this as 11 equals 2 plus m. And now we can solve for m. We subtract 2 from both sides. So 11 minus 2 is just 9. Therefore, m is just equal to 9. Our answer here is letter C.